Hello, wealthy family, and welcome to today's video. Thank you so much for coming and sharing some time with me. I love and appreciate you all. This is Chanel, Ascending Infinite Goddess, and today's video is actually inspired by a book I'm reading and a question that I got from one of my beloved, I can even say followers, subscribers, like we friends, we family now at this point, right? But a question that someone sent to me, and it's regarding your soul, right? What does your soul do? What does your spirit do after you transition? What is reincarnation? What is past lives? Like, what is all of that? And of course, I'm not going to be able to get too in depth because my videos are like 10 minutes. Oh, and before you're like, where the hell she at? I am in Denver. Y'all see? But I know it's reflecting back. But we are in Denver. We took a early trip for our anniversary. So that is the Rocky Mountains behind us, I believe, where we'll be going and exploring soon. But yeah, we are in Denver. So if you're in Denver, holla at me, right? But yeah, so what happens to us after we die, right? And that's a very loaded question because it depends who you are. Depends who you are and what you've done. So the majority of souls, when your spirit leaves this body, the majority of us go, and not when I say majority, I say like 70% of souls go into what you would consider the Hall of Amenti. You're greeted or met by your guides, those that, not your counsel, but your guides. So those that help you transition from the waking world to the sleeping world or the dying world or whatever the case may be. And this is what I gathered from my past life regression, because the same ones that met me when I did my past life regression before I tapped into my Akashic, they were like, what are you doing here? What are you doing up here? And they're like, you're so very much alive. Then they realize, oh, okay, she's in a deep state, yeah, whatever. So they meet you and they help you transition. They help you gather what is happening, right? Because it takes some time for your spirit to realize, okay, I'm no longer tethered to this body, right? Especially depending on how you passed, right? So it's like, okay, where am I? What is happening? All right, we go to the Halls of Amenti. You get like a download. It's like a video, for lack of a better way of explaining it. It's like a video player of all your life scenarios, your experiences. You know, you kind of get that. You replay that out. You dissect it. You're like, oh, okay, this is what I did. This is what I didn't do. This is how it could have went, but this is the way it did go. Yada, yada, yada. And then after some time, because we are on this earthly plane, I'll put it in plain terms. So after about 6 months, which is an earthly time, and spirit, of course, is not really 6 months, but earthly time, about 6-7 months has passed, you now meet your counsel. And your counsel is like, okay, after you reviewed your life, do you feel that you did you do what you were supposed to do? Did you learn the lessons you were supposed to learn? Sometimes it's yes, sometimes it's a no. And even if it's a no, that doesn't mean to hell you go. No, or that doesn't mean back into the reincarnation pool you go, right? It's like, okay, yes, I learned my lesson. Perfect. Now you have a wide range of choice of what it is you want to do. Do you want to reincarnate back and learn other lessons? Do you want to go in and help other spirits? Sometimes you have other spirits that are like, okay, you did such a great job down there. Can you come back and help me? Can you come back as my sister or as my mom or as my postman, who the wise guru? Can you come and help? Whatever, right? You get your pick and choose of what you want to do. Sometimes you go to another planet. It's not always back on Earth, okay? Your soul doesn't always reincarnate back on Earth. And very rarely, if you hit your lesson, do you reincarnate as a lower species, meaning like an animal or something, or like a pauper, a hard life or anything of that nature. Now, if you did not learn your lesson, you still do have a choice of how soon do you want to jump back into the pool? Do you want to go back to Earth? But it is a little bit more limited. Right? Because it's based on how you handle these situations. Now, for the other percentages that don't go into these Hall of Amenti types, right, where you don't go into this limbo, because you don't go directly to the ethers. You have this like middle plane before you ascend. And of course, if you're an ancestor, like I said, there's only so much I can share. If you're an ascended master, of course, if you're an ascended master, most of the time you're going to get your lessons head on. You may download a little bit quicker, and then here you go, boom, right? They'll say, okay, well, now that you learned your lesson, do you want to go back? And you're like, no, I want to stay in the realm of ascended masters, or I want to now become a guardian angel to someone. Or now, if you were an elder who hit your goals, hit your lessons, been here a few times, you can now become an ancestor, right? Now, if you're like that 30% where you don't go there, sometimes if you had a traumatic death, if you were taken out before you were supposed to be taken out, if someone kind of veered and broke the contract and you became a casualty, sometimes you can get stuck in this realm, right? That's where you have quote unquote ghosts. Now, those ghosts are spirits that think that they're still here. They're walking, right? That can also occur if you have signed an agreement or a contract relinquishing the rights to your soul, right? So if you have these archonic beings, these inorganic beings that are like, hey, you want to have the best life you can have on Earth, then do this, and you torture people, whatever the case may be, right? Like some of these Hollywood people, some of their victims, they are walking around in limbo, right? They're walking around limbo. They're like, am I really dead? Am I really here? I'm trying to talk to. It's like the movie Ghost literally is coming to mind. It's an old movie, I think from the 80s or the 90s or something. And it's like, hey, I'm here. I want to hug you. I want to love you. But you can't feel because they don't have a body anymore, right? You can't see them. But they don't realize that because they don't know. They weren't met by their guides, right? To take them out from this realm. Sometimes as well, if you block yourself, if you are, this usually happens with people that are having a traumatic death, or like they don't want to accept their death. They're like, I have unfinished business, and they're like, you're still so tethered here to this realm, or they sign over their rights and it's like you're now a soul in limbo, like you no longer have control over your soul or your spirit. What will happen is you can be here for earthly terms, hundreds of years, eons. That's why a lot of times when you connect with your ancestors, if you work an ancestor altar, or if you have a passed on loved one, they're like, give it time, right? Give them at least a year before you try to connect with their spirit. But also, and here's the kicker, also, you want to ensure that when you are connecting with them, you are saying benevolent energies. You want to make sure that it's benevolent energies and not these malicious ones that are mad because they don't have a body and they want to try to come and try to take hold to yours, right? But you also want to make sure that when you are doing any type of spiritual work, you're protecting yourself, whether it's with light or with crystals or things of that nature, because those that are like roaming around, that are in limbo for eons and eons of years, that's where you get the haunted houses and stuff like that. They learn how to, they pick up some things. They pick up some tricks of the trade, right? So they learn how to manipulate the physical world. They know how to touch and haunt the spirit and things of that nature, right? Like if you've ever astral projected or astral traveled, rather, not projected. If you've ever astral traveled, you can see a lot of these spirits that are here that are just like, damn. And you'd be looking like, damn, there's like 6 of them in my house, right? Depending on where you at, they're like, damn, there's a lot going on, right? So just be mindful of when you are connecting with past on loved ones, with those that are still in transition. You may have loved them for who they were here on the earth, on this planet, but no one truly knows anyone's spirit. No one truly knows anyone's spirit. So just make sure that you're always connecting yourself, and keep in mind that your emotions tied to these individuals also keeps you connected to them. So someone passes and you're extremely sad and you're wanting to hold on to the memories and you can't get over, you're blaming yourself and there's anger and stuff. You prevent that person, especially if they're all in the Hall of Amenti, you prevent that person from moving forward because there's a tether. There's an anchor. Ooh, excuse me. But anyway, that's all that I have for you all today. I hope that makes sense, right? If you want a part 2 to this, if you want to expand a little bit more, because excuse me, because everything is happening all at once. So even our past lives is not really in the past. It's like right now. It's all happening now. So with that being said, in the present, in the spirit of now, I hope that I intend that this makes sense to you. And of course, like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. I see the subscriber count going up. I see y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. We about to hit 2K. That would be amazing if we could hit 2K by December 1st. Shit, it would be amazing if we could hit 2K by this weekend. Y'all share. If you're watching this, subscribe. Do your girl a favor, okay? I love you all. I appreciate you all. And until we connect again, stay alert, stay aware, and live in love.